Babe, come take a picture with me. Babe!
Oh my God! I heard you. We should have got that on video. That'd have been funny.
I did.
I'm trying. It's not as simple as I thought it was. Boom.
Did you just flick that?
Oh, you was recording?
Yes.
Y'all.
That's not funny. Okay.
All right.
It's not even that funny.
She shouldn't have pressed record.
What is that though, for real?
What? It is something right here. I don't know, man. I think it was dude.
Oh, you gonna flick me off after you just was doing that to me?
Go ahead.
The clippers is bleeding.
It's not. It's bleeding.
Well, it's red like it was bleeding. That's nasty. We both gonna have to wash our hands.
You're not my mother.
I don't want to be your mama.
You're gonna be my sugar mama.
Sugar pie, honey bun.
Psych.
You know that I love you. I can't help myself.
Shut up. All right, y'all. So, anyways, here we go.
First of all, this is not your channel.
It's about to be. Why y'all never got Josh on here no more? Why y'all never got
Who's-
Josh on here? All the people.
No.
Y'all gonna want to see me. Trust me.
All right. Why are you sitting there? Welcome back to my channel, guys.
Welcome. All right, I quit.
Welcome back to my channel, y'all. I have a special guest with me today.
It is me, Joshua Porter, former boyfriend of Kimberly Gale.
Former boyfriend. I know
Wow.
that's right.
Now
He
fiance.
proposed to me.
I
He
propose with a carbonium
diamond.
zinc ring.
This ain't no.
Carbonium zinc. Is that a thing?
Carbonium. I don't know what it really is. Anyway, so the proposal video is doing really well. On Facebook, we up to 11.7.
1,000.
Yup. Finna be at 12.
All right, let's get to it.
Are you rushing me?
Mm-mm.
Stop staring at my chin.
I'm sorry, babe.
Picking my flaws apart.
I'm not picking your flaws. I'm not picking her flaws apart, y'all.
That's how we gonna start our love story. So this video is very highly requested. Very highly requested. Really highly requested.
It's okay.
Highly requested.
I'm gonna make her mad this whole time.
Yeah, probably.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
It is.
Y'all, I leave for Spain tomorrow to go back to Berkeley. So she's pretty upset. Anyway, I haven't packed or anything. Nothing is packed. I haven't done anything to get ready, and I leave tomorrow afternoon. So here we are,
So what better
recording.
time?
I'm just playing. I'm really happy to be here. All right, so start from the beginning. I'm gonna add stuff and make jokes.
So you want me to tell the story and you chime in?
Yeah, and then parts that you throw to me, I'll answer.
Okay. We met at Yeepaw 365 when we were 16 years old. We are 2 months apart. We're 2 months apart. I'm older by 2 months. My birthday is in December. His is in February.
Babe.
Sorry. We met each other at Yeepaw 365. He was ugly and was you wearing wire glasses at the time?
I think so.
Yup, wire glasses. Teeth was everywhere. And he was the class clown. So funny thing is, it'd be really bomb if we could find an old picture. That picture of you and that boy that you showed me. Yep.
That was way before then. I was in
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you didn't look very much different from that picture. So we're gonna put that picture in here somewhere. Okay. I don't know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna be in there, so y'all can see what Josh used to look like. And funny thing is he had the hose.
Don't say it that way. I had the interest of a lot of young ladies. We're respectful.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm better. Follow me.
No, he had all of these girls that really loved him, honestly. And he didn't like when we all came to this realization. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Anyway, he didn't like when we came to the realization that most of these girls really liked him because he could sing. And he can play the piano. So all of these girls was flocking to him. And he dressed real cute. So he was like...
And he was handsome. And he was phenomenal.
No.
And he was smart. Oh.
You weren't smart in high school.
This...
You wasn't smart in high school.
I was a very intelligent young man.
You've always been intelligent, but you didn't exude any of that.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Okay, it's okay.
You got good grades in high school?
Good grades doesn't mean you're smart.
That would be exuding your intelligence.
I got a 24 in the ACT. I mean, that's not like genius, but that's really good.
So right now you want to be right, or?
It's okay. Keep going.
So all of these
I told y'all, whole time.
all of these girls was really feeling him, and I may have had a little bit of crush on him, but not really. I wouldn't call it a crush. I would call it like a not a crush. It wasn't all the way developed yet. Like, we was really good friends. We was cool. But I wasn't like feeling him all the way. Anyway, we was 16, and our very first conversation we had was at UPAR 365. And his mom will always be late coming to pick him up. And our first conversation we had, I used to wear a whole lot of jewelry. I told y'all I was ratchet back then. And I got a burp.
Edit this part out. Edit that out, babe.
Alright.
Just ladylike.
That one was very salami-esque. You smell it?
No, I don't smell it. Nasty.
Babe, you definitely farted yesterday and wasn't even gonna say nothing.
It wasn't yesterday. Oh, that was yesterday. We were outside.
Josh, you farted
shut up.
and wasn't gonna say nothing.
If you fart
you
out,
farted, and it was one of the most potent farts ever.
it was outside.
And
if you're outside, you don't have to
say nothing.
If
Josh,
you are outside,
it was windy.
Yeah, so that. Oh, well, it's windy. Oh, I just say excuse me when I fart. No.
What was the finger for?
You lick it and you can tell if the wind is blowing. Anyway, continue with the story.
No.
We were 16, used to wear a whole bunch of jewelry because you was ghetto and ratchet and annoying. And then what? And then I said that her jewelry looked like Christmas ornaments.
She did, and that was very rude.
And it was hilarious. Her mother died laughing.
It wasn't that funny.
That's how you know somebody really roasted you, when your mom laughed hard. She was sitting there, no, they don't.
Anyway, he said that my necklace looked like Christmas ornaments.
Which it did.
Again, being a class clown and swore that everybody thought his jokes was just amazing.
Your mom thought it was amazing.
So that was our first conversation. This is probably the second or third video of me being in this bonnet.
Watch out now.
It's not. Ooh.
Your forehead look big,
Let's pull it together.
Hold up.
For my hand, my hand don't.
Move this down.
Get off of me. Move this down. Like it's a closure.
It's not a wig.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
We ain't even got through the beginning of the dang on thing.
Good stuff.
Okay.
I'm just playing, y'all.
That's a lot better. Where were we? First conversation, Christmas ornaments.
Roasted her.
No, he didn't.
And then what?
And then he sang me happy birthday for my 17th birthday.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It
that's
sure
when she
was.
really started feeling a nigga.
No, that's not when I started feeling you. I started feeling him when he sang If I Could Feel during Wiz rehearsal.
That was it.
That's when I was feeling you.
Don't ask me to sing because I don't sing no more.
Come on, babe. Just give us a little piece.
What?
Anyway, because don't embarrass me like that. Anyway, so
You set
funny thing
yourself
is, he was actually talking to one of my friends at the time.
Y'all.
Babe!
I hope she see it.
Babe, stop! Stop! Stop. So he was actually talking to one of my friends at the time. Stop!
Don't edit this out.
No,
Keep it in there. This is good.
no, because she could possibly see it.
Man, so she whack.
All right.
I don't
That's
know.
awful.
You might be a better person now, but you sucked in high school. You were an awful
All right.
person. You were an awful person.
Joshua, we got it. So, he was talking to one of my friends at the time, and I honestly kind of set that up as a way of like trying to persuade everybody else that I didn't like him. I'm almost convinced that's why I did that. But he didn't really like us because he thought we were mean girls. So anyway, we were really good friends all throughout high school. He went to Bookdo, whack Bookdo, and I went to the Garfield High School. Go Rams.
I can't wait till this hit.
Go Rams! I only
moving.
went to Rams. I only went to Garfield for 2 years. I went to Hoban my first 2 years, and I hated it. But I went to Garfield to get my cosmetology license. And we were really good friends through our last 2 years of high school. I then went to BW, and that's when we really became like super close. My freshman year, his senior year of high school.
BW is Baldwin Wallace University?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baldwin Wallace University in Berea, Ohio is where I received my Bachelor's of Science in Psychology. And I really ended up liking my school, but I hated it all at the same time. It was only 45 minutes away, and I had a car my senior year, so we traveled back and forth them little whack 45 minutes all the time.
I think you forgot to mention. She skipped a grade, so she was a year ahead of me. So
Yes.
my senior year in high school, she was a freshman in college. That's when we really started hitting it off. That was 2012 going into 2013 when we started talking.
We did.
But we did not have a title. We
No.
were just talking. We went on our first date.
Why didn't we have a title, babe?
We didn't have a title because I was a child, and I remained a child for the next 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I'll take it over now. So that first year, when she was in her freshman year of college, and I was in my senior year of high school, we were tight. Like, things were going great. We fell in love that year. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew that we were in love. It was a great time.
It was.
However,
some of the best moments of my life.
Apparently some of the best moments of her life. Even though I just proposed. But
I'm saying back then those were some of
anyway.
Oh my gosh, y'all, our first kiss was absolutely beautiful.
It was straight.
It was at one of our friends' house. We were in the rain.
Yep.
And it was raining outside, and he put his hat on my head.
It was a polo hat.
It was a brown polo hat. And he put his hat on my head, and we walked to the car, and he kissed me in the rain. We also went on our first date, and we didn't kiss. He took me to the Cheesecake Factory after church.
Baller.
We went to church. We had a Saturday service at my church. And right after church, we went with my best friend, Gabe. And they went to the altar together and was praying and stuff. All Holy Ghost feel, honey. Get you a Christian saved man. It's beautiful. He had on a jean jacket and a pink shirt.
Wow. Didn't remember that.
And I had on a blazer that was black and white with trimmed with green. My hair was in box braids. Anyway, we went to the Cheesecake Factory and he dropped me off at my brother's house and we didn't kiss. My feelings was a little hurt, but I thought it was kind of cute because I thought you just respected me a whole lot. But it was fun. It wasn't awkward or anything. Driving all the way to Cleveland.
It was great.
Coming back, we sat and people watched. We had a good time. I think it was just because we was really good friends. But he asked me if he could take me out because it was around my birthday. It was around like our Christmas break. And he asked me could he take me out for my birthday, but it was really our first date.
Yep.
But anyway, go back to you playing games.
So that first year was great. Then cut to me graduating from high school and going to college in Atlanta. That's when things started going downhill.
Woo!
So I went to Clark Atlanta University.
Jesus.
Yeah, so basically what I wanted to do was have my cake and then eat it too. Which means that I wanted to still have her in my back pocket and like always talk to her every day and you know what I'm saying, like basically
Every day, ladies.
So I basically
every day, morning, noon, and night. Literally since 2012. I won't try to spoil the story too much, but up until then, we talked every day.
Y'all see how she's still not over it? It's okay. I put you through a lot. So, my freshman year, her sophomore year in college, I was talking to girls on campus at Clark. And y'all watching this, now you know. So I was talking to girls on campus at Clark. I never committed to anybody though. So
which is terrible.
It is. So I would give this whole narrative like, yeah, you know, I like you, whatever, but there's a girl back home that I'm in love with, and I'm really just in love with my music.
Y'all, bye, babe. Hold on. He was kicking it with these girls. Yes, I don't care. He was kicking it with these girls, and the beginning speech was, it's this girl back home that I'm in love with. How are you telling these other girls that you're kicking it with? Because you was doing more than just talking to them. Kicking it with these girls and gonna tell them it's somebody back home that I'm in love with, but would not commit to me. If you can tell them that you with me, why in the world would you not just be with me?
That's having your cake and eating it too. Now, I was wrong because and I didn't realize it at the time, but what I was doing was I was leading her on and leading all these other girls on too. And the thing was, I would say, this isn't a relationship. I'm not in a relationship with you. I don't know your relationship, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But I would treat them like I was trying to be in a relationship. So we going out to eat and we doing all this other stuff. And I'm making it seem like I'm really interested. So they're like, well, yeah, he said he got a girl back home, but he ain't talking about her. He'll never say nothing about her. He taking me out to eat. Well, he want me. And that's the facade that was portrayed over and over and over again, because it didn't just happen once. It happened multiple times throughout my years at Clark.
Definitely that freshman year. That was the worst of them all. Yeah, you was wildin'.
No, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were.
Then we move on, and here is when I broke Kim's heart. There was a young lady.
Wait, before you get to that. So my sophomore year of college, I studied abroad. I went to Northern Ireland and Cape Town, South Africa. It was an awful trip.
Oh, this is important. Okay.
Very important. It was an awful trip. Terrible, 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 terrible trip. But it was also really beautiful all at the same time. So when I first heard Josh sing back at Wiz rehearsal, when he sang If I Could Feel, my best friend at the time, Kaylee, we was like thick as thieves. And I told her when I first heard him sing, that's going to be my husband. Like, I know it. He's definitely going to be mine. That's going to be my husband. And she like, girl, please, whatever. And
Stalker. We was... Just kidding.
You was feeling me back then, too.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not until Motown. That's when I was like, hey.
Well, I was already
right.
I was in college back then. And you really are not getting around trying to make it seem like you was that cool when you said that either, because you definitely told me I was going to be the mother of your children. And you told my mom that you were in love with me. So you didn't say no, hey, she right. Like you was just swaggy about your words. You weren't. So anyway, I told Kaylee back then, like, that's gonna be my husband, he mine. So she laughing like, girl, please. Obviously because we was only 16. So I went to study abroad, and probably from then, I felt the connection. Like, it's something about this dude, I don't really know, but we just gonna pray about it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My relationship with Christ wasn't super intense or whatever, so I wouldn't say, like, I was just on my knees praying every night. Nothing like that. But I did, ask the Lord, like, I'm really feeling this dude, like, feeling him tough. I don't like that he with all these other girls. He playing, he childish, he annoying. But I knew that I really cared about him a whole lot. So I went to study abroad, and we went to Ireland first, and then Africa for like about 7 or 8 weeks. I came home mid-December. And it was in Ireland that I was praying real heavy because we wasn't doing nothing, which is why the trip was horrible. We weren't really doing much of anything, so I had a whole lot of time to pray. A whole lot of time to occupy myself. So I was praying. We would talk even while we were over there. We would talk a whole lot. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my hair a lot. We would talk while we were over there a whole lot. But when we went to Africa, for whatever reason, we didn't talk as much. I don't know if like the phones got weird or what. He probably was playing another one of his games. But we didn't talk as much, which really just opened up more time for me to be able to pray and ask, like, Lord, I don't really know what's going on, but I love him, and I want to make sure that this is what I'm doing, because at this point, we were a couple years in, and it was still no commitment. It still wasn't a relationship. It still wasn't, like, solid. We was, like, way in that gray area. Like, we owned that area. So in Ireland, I was praying real heavy, like, Lord, just kind of make it clear, whatever. So in Africa was when I really got serious, because I kind of got impatient and I was tired of waiting. So in Africa, there was this big arts building. We got placed in different areas where we were doing our service projects. So I got placed in an arts building where it was like all of these auditoriums and theaters and things like that, and I worked in the performing arts department. We were helping them kind of organize their business, their paperwork, stuff like that, getting them ready for shows and stuff like that. But again, it wasn't a whole lot of work that went into it. And we had a lot of free time. So I was out eating lunch in this big old area, beautiful scenery and stuff like that. So I was out there just praying, and I was really emotional this particular day. Probably because I was missing him, because we hadn't talked, and that was abnormal for us. But I was praying real heavy, and I'm like, Lord, I just kind of need to see it very vividly at this point. Like, if this is the will of God, if Joshua is to be my husband, and this is what you want, then I need to see something very clear, very tangible, very concrete. I need to see it rain. I need to see rainfall. Like, just let it rain. And I kind of just left it at that and went on about my prayer. And within, like, seconds, it started raining. It was not a rainy day. It wasn't gray skies. It wasn't heavy clouds. It wasn't none of that. It just started raining. So I'm freaking out. I'm looking around, like, making sure, like, everybody else can see that it's raining. Like, this is not a figment of my imagination, nothing like that. So, of course, like, people are really running and ducking, like, it's really raining. People, like, they windshield wiper is really going, like, it's really raining. So I instantly start crying, boo-hooing, because I'm like, oh, shoot, I've never, ever in my life prayed for something that specific and it happened. Well, that's a lie, because never mind. So it had never been that intense before. So I'm like, I'm just playing, just kidding, God, take it back, just joking. So a couple days later, I went on by my business. A couple days later, we were assigned to go to church. Everybody should go to Africa, especially if you are a people of color. You should totally see what Africa is like. And if you are a believer, you should definitely see Africans worship. It's amazing. It's a just uncanny experience. So we went to their worship service, and it was absolutely phenomenal. But before we got there, a couple of days before that, let's say the worship service was like 3 weeks after the rainfall. And I was still praying, because I'm like, I'm just joking, just kidding. So I'm praying like, okay, Lord, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not even trying to be insulting. But if that rainfall wasn't just coincidence, and if this is really what you want, then please, like, show me a rainbow before Christmas, because I got home mid-December. So this was still, like, the end of November. I'm like, I need to see a rainbow. So that was that prayer, and I left that alone. It didn't happen as quick as the rain. So we were getting ready to go to the worship service. And before we got off of the van, it was the biggest rainbow I had ever seen in my entire life. Like, huge. And the experience that I had, the reaction that I had, the feeling that I had when I saw the rain and the rainbow were the exact same. Like, I immediately felt the presence of God. Like, this is not just no okie doke rainbow. This is not just no okie doke rainfall. Like, no, this is literally the Lord responding, saying yes. And it was crazy. It was crazy, 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 crazy. So of course that sounds beautiful and awesome, and that would be easy to assume that that's how we got here, but it's not.
Yup, it's not.
It's not.
Cause she told me that.
I did.
And at first I'm like, wow.
As soon as I came home, I'm like, yes, this it. We about to shut all these games down, honey.
Then guess what happened? I went and got with another woman. Terrible. I know.
No, that's not even really like how it went down.
What happened? But we don't got that much time, and it's not that much stuff that happened in between those two times.
It is, because when I came home and told him what the Lord told me, he said, well, the Lord didn't say that to me. He said that to you.
No.
That is exactly what you said. That's not what you said, babe. That's not what you said.
Can you let me talk?
That's not what you said.
Not as soon as you told me. As when you first told me, I was very excited about it, and I was like, "Wow, like this is real."
Okay, you did.
I know. So then, I'm like, I'm on board with it. I'm like, cool. You know, that's amazing. I think you my wife too. Then I fall in love with another girl in Atlanta.
Woo!
And this time I'm like, I'm not about to play games
Babe,
with this.
I feel like you rushing.
I'm not.
I kind of do, because you're not telling a story good enough. So just let me chime in. No.
All right, dang.
You don't really know.
I think it's good. Well, all right. Let me just finish, and then you just ask stuff. So, I fall in love with another woman, and then when I fall in love with another woman, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to keep on playing these games. Because by now, I've been playing with girls' emotions for 3 years. Because this is my junior year of college at Clark Atlanta. So now it's like, man, this is getting old. Like, first of all, you've been playing with Kim. Because even though I was trying to act like I didn't know nothing was wrong, by this time, I'm like, man, this isn't right. We arguing about the fact that I'm just playing with women's emotions. This is not okay. Of course, the girls that I'm talking to in Atlanta, this is not going well. So it's just, I'm just like, man, forget this. Like, I'm not playing no more games with nobody else. I'm not going to play with Kim no more either. So I'm like, cool. I'm not going to be with Kim anymore. I'm going to choose this particular girl. She's a nice girl. She's involved in ministry. She's in church. All right, bet. This is the route I'm going. And that's what I chose to do. And when I made that decision, that's when I said, well, God told her that I was her husband, but he ain't tell me that.
Can I jump in now?
Yep.
We always said, because we was in like gray areas, we always said that if anybody ever took our place and we felt like they were taking the place of one another, that we would tell each other. Because at this point, we was best friends. We was telling each other stuff we probably didn't tell nobody else. We know we didn't tell nobody else. So, like, if anybody ever took his place, we made a vow that we was going to tell each other. So, the video that y'all saw of me at NYC, it was that same conference. It was the first time that I was taking a youth group down to the conference. I had been attending for years, but it was the first time that I was taking a group down. And of course, we was going to Atlanta. So this was perfect time for us to meet up with Josh, hang with him, hang with some of his friends, all of that. And I'm thinking this is going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to kick it, us just be with each other, have a great time. To my surprise, that was one of the worst trips ever. But actually, it ended up being really awesome. But it started off in just Disasterville. So we're on the bus, and I think it was, we wasn't even out of Ohio yet. I mean, it was right in the beginning of the bus ride. It's when he tells me that he's in love with somebody else. I don't know if you said in love with.
I don't know what I said. I just know I told you about it.
Yeah, he told me that he was pursuing another relationship. I don't know if it was in love, but it was definitely pursuing another relationship. And it broke my whole everything. Broke my whole heart. Because that meant like what we built since we were 16 was over. Now mind you, the Lord had already told me that he's my husband.
So now she really confused.
So now I'm pissed. I was confused, angry, everything. It was so tough. Man, and I still had to I had to teach a conference. No, I didn't teach that. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Not in Atlanta.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
You're right, because I left my clothes. I had to still be responsible for like 50 other kids, though. So it was still really tough. So I knew that he was my husband, saith the Lord. But he was with somebody else.
Yep. And so fast forward from there. Not fast forward.
We didn't talk for a year after that.
I asked that girl to be my girlfriend, and we dated seriously.
Yeah.
I think we started dating in January officially. We dated for 8 months, 8 or 9 months, something around there, officially. We had been talking for months before that, but then we started officially dating in January. And we dated all the way until I think September or early October, something like that.
Do you think she would watch this?
Maybe. I don't know. Cut that part out.
Okay.
Oh, God. Me and the young lady dated seriously.
The young lady.
We dated seriously. And what's crazy is, I think we started dating officially in January. In June, something compelled me. Something compelled me.
We came down to Atlanta for
I was
Vinny's
about
birthday.
to skip that, but yes.
Oh.
They came to Atlanta because I didn't want it to seem like it was because y'all came down that I chose to do it.
Okay.
Because it wasn't that, but that would seem like that was what did it.
Okay.
But they came to Atlanta, and something about them being there really made me want to just make sure I sought the Lord about who I was supposed to be with, because I was very much in love with the girl that I was dating at the time. But I realized that I had never asked God if that was who I was supposed to be with. And though I was kind of like, well, I'm sure I'm supposed to be with her. I'm sure I'm supposed to be with her. Kim was just somebody that I was really, really in love with, but man, I'm sure I'm supposed to be with this other girl. So I'm like, man, God, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fast and I'm going to pray for a week. And I want you to just let me know. Just let me know if I'm supposed to be with Kim or if I'm supposed to be with this other girl. And God ain't say nothing to me. I was pissed. Whole week went by. I'm like, you know what? That's why I'm finna just stick with my gut. I'm sticking with homegirl that I'm with right now because that's the way I'm supposed to be going.
Which is probably the dumbest thing he could have done.
And
no
guess what happened?
offense to young lady, but
guess what happened?
God don't speak, so I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yep. So 2 days later, after I stopped fasting and praying, I'm in the student area. Well, no, what's the common area of the music complex at Clark, and I would do my devotions in there on my phone, and then I would kind of chill. Then I would go practice all my classical piano repertoire, and in that moment, it was it jumped in me, and it said, "So and so is your girlfriend, Kim is your wife," and I was pissed. I'm very in love with this girl at the time, and now God just told me that that's not who I'm supposed to be with. I'm supposed to be with Kim. And I'm upset because at this point I don't want to be with Kim. I don't see why that would even be beneficial, especially when I'm with somebody else. But lo and behold, as the months went on, I started seeing why it was that I wasn't supposed to be with that girl. So
then the nigga was feeling me and had to get back in my good grace.
So what happened was, after me and the girl broke up, it actually happened really, really fast, which was weird.
It had nothing to do with me.
Didn't. They ended up coming back to Atlanta.
Nothing.
They ended up coming back to Atlanta. I don't even know why y'all was in Atlanta that time.
When?
That time when I think y'all came in October. Late October.
Me either.
They were in Atlanta again.
My brother lived in Atlanta, so it could have been...
True. But they were in Atlanta again. And we all went out all together. Me, one of my best friends, her,
everybody.
Janae, everybody went out. We saw like a whole bunch of people that night from Akron, which was so fun actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up telling her that night, and this is me and homegirl is fresh broke up, but I knew that God had put that in my heart for a reason at that time, because it came up so naturally. And I asked Kim, I said, hey, can I come to your hotel room tonight? She like, I guess. She wasn't like that.
I wasn't.
She was weirded out by it. Because, mind you, we hadn't talked for a whole year.
I'm like,
at this point. So this is like the first time in a year that we've talked. And it's like, what are you doing? So I go up there and I tell her exactly what happened. I tell her what God told me, and she breaks down crying, of course.
I did.
And then that's when she let me know that in that same month of June, I believe, right? She had prayed that God would show me what he had shown her.
In his own way.
And she didn't, in his own way. And she didn't know that prayer had been answered.
I had no idea.
Because I sat on that for a long time. Because he did say so-and-so was my girlfriend. So I'm like, well, I'm going to just ride this thing out until it ends the way it's supposed to end. And it ended. And it ended amicably also. So it wasn't like a terrible, horrible, oh my God, breakup. It was nice. But,
that was in June. He didn't tell me until October.
June to October, I held that. I only told one person who spilled the beans, my best friend, Jeff.
Love you, Jeffy.
He told Janae.
Love you, Beanie.
And then Janae low-key spilled it to Kim.
Love you.
But it ain't come from me, and she didn't know for sure, so it was cool.
It's okay.
But yeah, so
That
in
was
October,
in October
2016, that's when we kind of picked back up. And we started talking again. It didn't happen immediately. Like, we wasn't like, boom, oh yeah, we back up. Nope, yes we were, actually.
Yeah.
It happened very quickly. We actually, after that day, we picked up right where we left off. And it was miraculous
It was.
how fast it happened. Now, there was still a whole lot of hurt and pain to deal with that came later. But for the most part, we kind of hit the ground running. And we picked up right where we had left off.
We did.
And in December 2016, what was it? December 3rd, she had her debut concert. Because my fiance is one of the best songwriters out. And, like, I'm not, like, exaggerating. She's an amazing songwriter. Seriously. I'm honored to produce for her. Seriously. Any musician would be excited to produce for the type of stuff that she writes. She writes the stuff that makes you be like, ooh, like, chords.
Yeah, thank you, babe.
She think about it all in her head. But anyway, so she's doing her debut concert. I come up to obviously support her, but what she didn't know was that I was going to decorate her whole house.
The whole thing.
And put like little stations of pictures of us, which she still has right here.
I do.
All the pictures that I set up when I asked her to be my girlfriend.
For me to get them roses out of my house.
Yeah, I I had rose petals, candles everywhere. It was beautiful.
It really was.
So yeah, I I set her whole house up while she was getting ready for her concert. She had no idea. Came to the concert, then I disappeared, and then she came home and I was sitting on the couch.
It was so beautiful.
And I surprised her, and then I brought her to every station and told her why she was important to me and why I loved her. And then at the last station was in her room, and I had the song. What was the significance of that song? The One He Kept For Me by Shayna Wilson.
No.
Dang.
And Morette Clark.
Morette Clark.
Brown Clark?
Morette Brown Clark.
Brown Clark.
That lady, I had that playing in the background because I'm the one that God kept for her.
Through all that.
Through all the mess, through all the stuff I did, through mistakes, through me not listening to God.
And I listened to that song when I was a junior in college, sophomore, right before I left for school, right before I left for studying abroad. I used to listen to that song all the time.
So I had that playing on my good little laptop. And then I asked, will you be my girlfriend?
My breath was on fire.
Her breath. Y'all, you know how singers' breath be stinking?
I sung for 2 hours straight.
Was stinking.
But he still kissed me.
But I still kissed her. And I ain't care either, man.
Yeah, so chill out.
Because I had to make that moment right. So yeah. Then she became my old lady.
No, I didn't.
She hates that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, this is my old lady.
No, I'm not.
But anyway, so that's when we started going steady. Going steady. That's when we started going. That's when we started going together.
We did. Stop.
She don't like when I tickle her feet. But anyways, so that's when we started going together officially, and we dated.
When the work started, y'all, for real.
Woo! Lots of work. She got cancer 3 months after that.
3 months. That's when the wiggity work
tested
started.
Everything I could imagine I could have been tested on, y'all.
I mean, that's when the work started.
It was crazy. And the work ain't done. We still working. But then, so what? 2 years later, after ups and downs, we broke up for a week. Got back together, went on breaks, mad at each other, ain't talking at all. All kind of stuff happened in them 2 years.
Yeah.
For real. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Then he sat down with my parents.
I sat down with her parents this past summer 2018.
He talked to my brother.
I talked to Alan and Imani, Swoop. And I asked them and her biological parents for her hand in marriage. I did that in August 2018. Then she thought I was going to propose. Nah, too predictable.
I was so mad, y'all. When he left for Spain in August, I was so hurt.
And I didn't care.
Because he didn't propose to me. You did all of that. Not to ask me to marry you.
Exactly.
We went, got the ring size, picked out the rings, everything.
She thought I was going to buy it. No.
And I'm like, come on, like, what are you doing? I was so annoyed. Like, we had full-blown arguments over, like, when are you going to propose to me? You're playing games. He left for Spain, didn't ask me to marry him.
And that's what you get.
Because
this is what she are. I want to be surprised. I wanted to be a big engagement.
I did. I wanted a
genuine
surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I wanted a genuine surprise. I don't like those wedding proposals where, like, you're getting a rose all the way down the street. Like, you know what's coming. Or, like, you see people that you know giving you clues. You know what's coming. Like, I was literally blown away.
She had no idea what was coming. That's why the video was so ambiguous at the beginning. If you go back to that proposal video and you watch the video that I made for her, it's very cliche at the beginning. Christmas trees, kids playing, old
thought
people.
It was a Sunday school announcement.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted. I wanted her to have no clue until seconds before I walked out. And that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Because a couple seconds before.
When we were talking about you being homesick, you knew you was coming home when you was coming home.
I was lying. Man, I was lying.
You have been setting up for some months.
But I was actually homesick though. Sorry.
No, I knew that. But you saying like, I just want to come home in January.
Yeah, I was lying. I knew I was coming home December 21st. My ticket had been bought since like October or November.
That's the worst.
So for months I was lying to her, telling her I'm coming back January 2nd. January 2nd is when I'm coming back. I was coming back.
That was on my calendar and everything.
Yeah, man. She had tried to make a plan for them to come to the airport and surprise me.
I did.
Man, little do you know, I'm finna be here. So yeah. And then I whipped this bad boy out. Blah, y'all!
And now we're getting married.
But yeah. So that's what happened. What else? Oh, the ring was too small. So if y'all notice, like I didn't get the ring all the way on her finger in the video. That was why, because they missized it. But then the next day, we went on ahead and got it extended so that she could wear it. Mm-hmm. So it all worked out, y'all. That's pretty much all of our love story. We met at 16, liked each other a little bit, but not really. She was staying down for me the whole time while I was being a stupid hoe.
The whole time. I was a ride or die.
I was being ridiculous and didn't realize what I had and was just doing whatever I wanted, playing with all kind of girls' emotions, including hers. Mm-hmm. Then I finally got myself together, but with somebody that God didn't really have for me to be with for eternity. And then figured that situation out. Finally got back with the one that he kept for me, and then learned a whole bunch of lessons to get me ready for where we at right now. This love has not been easy. It has not been a walk in the park. Anybody that's thinking that it's going to be easy in a walk in the park, you stupid. I'm just sorry, you're not stupid. But nah, for real though, love is work. It takes a whole lot of work. It's not all pretty. You just see all the pretty stuff. You seen that proposal and you probably was like, oh my God, I wish somebody would do that for me.
Yeah.
What you don't know is I played with this girl's heart for a long time before I realized. And I
tolerated it, ladies. I tolerated it and I didn't have to.
Also dumb.
Also dumb. Very much. No, I'm serious. Because, ladies, don't think that in order to get to a love like this, whatever this is, like to get to the one that the Lord has for you, that you got to put up with crap for years.
She should have been left me in the dust. She should have been left me and let me come to my realization on my own and come and chase her and win her back. Right. That's what should have happened.
He that findeth a wife finds favor and obtains favor from the Lord.
But since she was so great, since she was so not smart, and she just kept loving me through all of that and stayed on my team.
On your team?
Thank God. Not on my team, but like she stayed. I
was down for you.
She stayed down for me. That didn't have to happen like that, but that's probably how it should have happened had she been looking out for herself a little bit more.
Absolutely. This is a benefit of prayer. It really is. It's a product of prayer. Because even when he was with his other girlfriend, I didn't stop praying for him. Because he was still my friend. And I still loved him and still wanted the best for him. So even if he was going to love somebody else, and even if I had to watch him love somebody else, I wanted it to be whatever God had for him. Whatever that was and whatever it looked like. It was the hardest thing in the world to watch him love somebody else the way that I wanted him to love me. Because he treated her way better than he had treated me when we was kids. But all at the same time, the Lord's plan is perfect. The Lord's will is perfect. And giving it to Jesus was the best thing that we could have done.
Yep. P.S. She think that I treated her better than I treated her. I was an awful boyfriend both rounds. Let's make that real clear.
Well, I don't know the detail, but still.
She don't. See, that's how people think that you walking you walking a cakewalk.
Right.
From the outside looking in, but
well,
from the inside,
my perspective,
woo!
It looked much more glamorous.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Well, I was committed to her, so it didn't matter what happened behind closed doors. It looked way better because whatever it was about her, you committed to, and not me.
That is true. That is true. Just want
So
to let
it
y'all
was
know.
already better off red.
I was the worst boyfriend both times.
Well, you're great now.
Yeah, because I'm a fiance. I'm not a boyfriend no more.
You were a great boyfriend.
Like the second year.
You was a good boyfriend to me.
You think so?
Yeah,
Well,
the
all right.
second
If
year.
she say so, I guess I was.
You were good overall.
Yeah. Had some mistakes though. Lord, I'm so sorry.
It's alright. We both had a lot of mistakes. So stick around, gang. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clicking the video. Thanks for joining the team at the Kimberly Gale channel where we do life, love, beauty, and all things Kimberly.
And Josh.
This is hashtag Reporter Promise.
Because I'm low-key the best part of this thing.